Welcome, 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 one and all. I hope you are good. Welcome to the Generation X gaming show, the Generation X retro gaming show, of course, with me, your host, Clive Illenden, aka Lord Kensal, and of course, sadly, no Rock today. Family. It's family matters. Family matters. He had some family matters to deal with. So it's just me today. I hope that's all right with you guys. I hope you're all good. I hope you are all dandy. And we're still going to have a fantastic show for all of you. Another fine edition of the Generation X Retro Gamers Club. You know me. It's going to be entertaining. I hope you are all well. I hope you are all good. Do me the massive, massive favour of A, hit the likes, B, put into chat what you've been playing and all of that. We always love to see what you've been playing, what games you've been playing, and all of that is always very good. If you're new here, hey, welcome to the best gaming podcast for the older generation, the gamers who've got proper XP, yeah? Proper XP. That's what we're all about. Welcome. As far as games I've been playing this week, what have I been playing? Obviously, Pac-Man. Hello. Pac-Man Megatunnel. Battle Royale. Hello. Of course I've been playing Batman. Don't be ridiculous. Immortals Phoenix, of course, I've been playing. PUBG. Always an old favourite, always go back to PUBG as well. But that's kind of, that's it really. I've not really been playing a lot of other stuff since last week. They have been the main fare for me. I mean, the beauty of Pac-Man is you can just drop into it, have a quick game, and then off you go. No hanging around, no waiting. That is the great thing about certain games, you know, the casual gamer that we keep hearing blasted about all the time. There are certain games that are like that, and then other games which are much more involving and take a bit of a run up to. I played a bit more Doom, of course. Always playing that. But anyway, let me know in the chat what you've been playing. It's always appreciated. We always kind of love to find out what you've been playing. So, of course, we're just going to have the news. We'll have On This Day in Gaming. We'll sort of have a one-sided Generation X game, of course. And then we'll have some chat with you guys as well. So, I don't know. I've got no one to ask here. Shall we get on with the news? Shall we do the news? Okay, let's do the news, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So, first up, ladies and gentlemen, Cyberpunk has been delayed again. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Cyberpunk. So there was an official tweet today from the official Cyberpunk 2077. Hi, everyone. Today we've decided to move the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 by 21 days. That's effectively 3 weeks. 3 weeks non-stop. The new release date is December the 10th. So everybody was expecting it on the 19th of November. Obviously... it's been a long time coming. It's already been, this is like the third delay I believe it's had. It's been about 7 to 8 years in development from its original kind of idea, as I understand it. And they want to get it right. And often the pressure from publishers to just get the game out is when you then have because we've got the Christmas sales to hit or whatever, or Thanksgiving, is then you have a massive update, a day one patch, which is, if you're doing it on PC or console, is a real pain in the butt if you've got a massive day one patch, just because the game wasn't actually ready, but the publisher wanted you to hit the sales dates. Cyberpunk are going, our game's big enough to wait another 21 days. And I think most people, we've got a busy gaming period coming up in terms of big games that are coming, be able to buy. So, look, we waited this long. What's another 21 days? Let's just hope it doesn't get... I think this must be it. But they said that last time. But no, I'm sure. I can't imagine them delaying it any more than that. Other news, ladies and gentlemen, Ubisoft Ubisoft Plus. So last week, Ubisoft announced their sort of Ubisoft Connect. Okay, there we are. Block that. Basically, which brought all their sort of Ubisoft accounts and cross-play and all that kind of stuff together, which is all part of their big business strategy, is making the games going forward, and some of the older games, but certainly all the games going forward, that if you are sort of part of Ubisoft Connect, then you can cross-save your game on whatever platform you're playing that game on, which is, great, because then it means, okay, I might want to play on my Xbox, or I might want to play on Stadia, or play on my PC. It doesn't matter. You take that XP with you, and that's all cool. So that's brilliant, cross-save. And in addition to that, they want to have cross-play. So if your mates are playing it on the PC, or you've got a mate who plays on PlayStation 4, and you play on Xbox, or Stadia, or whatever, it doesn't matter. And that's what Ubisoft Connect is all about. And it's a great, great strategy. And further to that strategy, finally, they've announced Ubisoft subscription service Uplay, which has now officially become Ubisoft Plus. So Ubisoft Plus, and that'll be launching on Luna on November the 10th in the US as part of the beta of Amazon Luna, for those lucky souls that have got that in the US. And then later on the year, at some undisclosed date, but we haven't got much longer left in this year, in fact, so not too far behind on Stadia. Now, it's unclear from the wording, because I did read somewhere it said in the US only, but I think my feeling is that relates only to the fact that Amazon Luna is only available in the US, and on Stadia it'll be available wherever Stadia is available. I certainly hope that is the case, and it's just bad wording there. But the idea is, for $14.99 or £12.99 in the UK, you play your subscription to Ubisoft Plus, and that gives you access to hundreds of games on PC, lots of games on the consoles, not 100, games on Luna, games on Stadia, and games on PC, not the console, sorry. And of course, you can take your because of Ubisoft Connect, you can take your your XP with you, your cross-save with you, multiplayer, and all of that. So for $14.99, you basically can play on Luna, Stadia, or PC, pick up the game wherever you are on that, and you have access to all the games on each of those all the Ubisoft games on each of those individual services. So quite good, very, very exciting. Time for a cup of tea. Better. Right, so there we go. That's Ubisoft news. Let me know if you're excited. If you're going to do you think it's worth it? I mean, if you're in the UK, £12.99 for a sub. If you're on Stadia, for instance, you don't need Pro, so you could just say, okay, I'm just going to cherry pick the games I want to buy that aren't Ubisoft games. And then, just because I love Ubisoft games, I know Rock, he should be here. He loves Ubisoft games. Might want to then just subscribe to Ubisoft Plus, and he'd be quite happy at $12.99 plus buying a few AAA games that aren't Ubisoft games throughout the year. Or you're effectively playing $12.99, whatever sub you're paying, plus your Stadia sub or your Luna sub. So you're paying anywhere between 15 to 20 quid to get both. So, options are there. But let me know what you're thinking anyway. Other news, Facebook, boomers. Facebook took its first tentative steps into cloud gaming. I don't really understand this. I mean, I know why they're doing it. When I say I don't understand it, of course I understand it. I'm a bloody genius. But it does seem really strange. I had a look on because they've got the Facebook gaming app, and I had a look on it, and they've got games on it, like, your sort of normal games, Words with Friends and stuff like that. And I think they're looking to integrate into that sort of slightly more graphical, challenging games. Let's just say that, but I couldn't see these games launched on there. It's very, very tentative games. I mean, they're like Asphalt 9 Legends. I think you can get Asphalt 9 on your mobile as a sort of a mobile game anyway. Mobile Legends Adventure, PGA Tour Golf Shootout, Solitaire, and WWE Supercard. I mean, they're almost like mobile games you can already get, to be honest. But anyway, Facebook is for boomers. They'll do what they need to do, slowly but surely. But there you go. Hello, Jerry. How are you, my friend? Welcome. No Rock today, unfortunately. So just me going through the news and things like that. What else was in the news, ladies and gentlemen? Your Xbox fridges are here. Yes, everybody. I know you've been waiting. The Xbox Series X fridge is here. Yes. So, as part of a massive marketing spree, Xbox have been shipping out Xbox fridges. And one was sent here to Snoop Dogg for his birthday. Yeah, there's your Xbox fridge. Because they were memes. Obviously, everyone was memeing, oh, it looks like a fridge. So they made fridges, interestingly enough, by Electrolux. Wow, I want to be Snoop Dogg. Look at that birthday. Made him a birthday cake. Some nice little drink in there. Some chains. Some juice. Yeah, steak, eggs. Happy birthday to the Xbox OG. But it wasn't just... so it's a genuine fridge, but it wasn't just Snoop Dogg. I've seen a number of other YouTubers and influencers. Here's iJustine, who is obviously all about the iPhones and Apple products normally. But look, there was a whole YouTube video of her receiving her Xbox fridge. Look, even the box it came in. I mean, they haven't wasted any money. I mean, the marketing money Xbox is spending on this is just redonkulous. The box and everything. But again, she didn't get the birthday cake or all the drink in there. I'm wondering whether Snoop Dogg put the drink in there himself or... Well, there was a birthday cake in there from them. So I reckon they filled the fridge for his birthday. They didn't fill iJustine's fridge here, but they just give her a massive fridge. I'd love that fridge, except it is about the size of my kitchen. So Xbox, if you're listening, send me another kitchen as well, like a house. Send me a bigger house to put the fridge in. If you've got so much marketing money that you're willing to waste and spend on it. But yeah, the Xbox fridges are out there, ladies and gentlemen. Electrolux. Imagine if you could buy one. I only know it's Electrolux because when they opened it, I had a look inside. I thought, ooh. Other news items here as well that I found interesting. I don't know if you, like me, have ever sat in the cinema. Certainly when I go to the... Oh, what's it called? The View Cinema in the UK, and they have that trailer going, this is not a... I don't know if they might have it in America, I don't know, but they have a trailer that goes, this is not a cinema. This is a theatre. This is a concert. And the idea is that because they can sort of screen live theatre or live concerts, and they've got like a live concert of Rolling Stones or some live opera or whatever. This is a gaming experience, and they kind of show some gaming and stuff like that. And I always kind of used to think, for a birthday party, wouldn't it be amazing to kind of hire out a cinema and then play games on the screen? And then I was thinking, I wonder what the latency is. Is there a HDMI socket on the projector that you could sort of plug in to get that kind of full-on surround sound digital experience? Get yourself like a top-of-the-range, PC, gaming PC, or an Xbox One Series X, and to see whether they've got a HDMI socket in the projector. Because I think it'd be awesome playing. It's probably latency's awful on it. Who knows? But anyway, this is what I always think about. It's happening, people. Odeon make full screens available to rent for gaming parties. Isn't this cool? They're offering gamers the opportunity to play their favourite games on the big screen. Interested parties are advised to email the companies. You can email the company saying, I'm fancy having a gaming party. Can I hire out your cinema? I mean, it didn't have to be one of the massive screens. It could be one of the smaller screens, which are still pretty massive for gaming. As I say, the only issue I'd have is I wonder what the latency is. And you get latency in TV, so I wonder what the latency is like if you were plugging into some sort of massive digital projector. Trying to see if there was that link there. But yes, who fancies, let me know if you fancy sort of gaming in a cinema. I'd love it. I think it'd be awesome. Like a really good game. Or even if you imagine doing a co-op game, 4 of you on a massive screen. I don't know. I always, whenever I'm in a cinema, I always think that. Thinking that's the sort of nature of the guy I am. I always kind of think, yeah, gaming would be good. But I wonder what the latency is like. That's what I think before the film starts. But anyway, let me know what you think. Would you game in a cinema? Would you think that'd be fun? A good experience, having like a massive party, a gaming party in a cinema? I think it would be cool. That's just, maybe that's just me. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Right, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the news, really. Just summarise the news there for you. Let me know about, anything of interest in the news that you've seen or want me to talk about, anything like that. That's really good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a step back into the past. We're gonna rewind back to the future. Now we're gonna rewind. The crowd say Bo Selector. Yeah, we're gonna rewind, ladies and gentlemen. Rewind. To this day in gaming. 26th of October. So yesterday, really. 2004, 16 years ago. 16 years ago, one of the biggest games came out. Any prizes? Any guesses? No prizes for guessing what it might be. I'll tell you, my friends. I'll tell you. It was this, ladies and gentlemen, this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have thought? 16 years ago. Let me just get the... Rockstar released Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Stop there. Let's just go... There we go. Whoops. Just get my notes there for you. 16 years ago. Can you believe it? I mean, the game's just sold absolute bucket loads, if you think about it. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, released October the 26th, 2004. Action-adventure game developed by Rockstar North up in Scotland there and published by Rockstar Games. The 7th in the Grand Theft Auto series, the follow-up to the 2002 Grand Theft Auto Vice City, great game, which was released in 2004. Just check that information there. Yeah, it was released in 2004 on the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and obviously a game set within an open world environment, that sandbox game that we've become so familiar with. You can interact with at the leisure, at your leisure. It's the story of the former about that. Yeah, the former gangster Carl C.J. Johnson, who's brought back home by the death of his mother, only to become involved in the long journey that sees him exploring the fictional U.S. state of San Andreas, which is obviously heavily based on California and Nevada. And it features references to many real-life elements of the world, such as the cities, the regions, landmarks, plot heavily based on several real-life Los Angeles events in the 90s, including rivalry between real-life street gangs, crack epidemics, LAPD scandals, the Los Angeles riots. All of these things are touched on by San Andreas and stuff like that, and they would be incorporated later in the various other Grand Theft Auto titles. But an absolutely massive games, and this combination of mini games and gambling games. It's considered by many, according to Wikipedia, considered by many reviewers to be one of the greatest video games ever made. You can debate that, but it certainly changed the landscape. And and it received critical acclaim with praise, because it's got a great music soundtrack, good story, great gameplay. Obviously, graphics, was quite graphical in some extent, and some of the graphics are a bit kind of dodgy, but it is a massive, massive game. And I've always struggled with the controls. Driving cars, I've always found an absolute pain in the butt on Grand Theft Auto games. It really puts me off. I'm hopeless at driving. But it became the best-selling game of 2004, as well as one of the best-selling games of all time. It sold over 27.5 million copies as of 2011. So that was 9 years ago. And it remains the best-selling PlayStation 2 game of all time. The best-selling PlayStation game of all time, ladies and gentlemen. That's like just incredible how many it sold and all of that. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. 2004. Yeah, 2004. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Great game, though. Great game. And say, violence and sexual content was controversial, but that's what gives it its real kind of edge. They don't care, Rockstar, to a certain degree. And there are always going to be, kind of dark sides. But bad news, controversy sells, and it obviously hasn't done the job, and it's sort of hit the zeitgeist with gamers and stuff, especially PlayStation 2 gamers. That's why it sold so many. Yeah, an enormous game, an epic game, and like the current Grand Theft Auto, it has a long shelf life. Like Red Dead Redemption, they have really long shelf lives. I think these games. That's why Rockstar can sort of live off that game for 5-6 years. Not put their feet up because they're working on the next game, but know that the money's going to sort of keep coming in on that game. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas 2004, ladies and gentlemen. 2004. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the part of the show, ladies and gentlemen, that is normally a two-player game. Yeah, it's a two-player game. But of course, we can't really have a two-player game because we are without, my friends, we are without The Rock. So we're going to have a one-player game. I'm just going to share a game that meant a lot to me at the time. Not in a kind of over-emotional way. But had Rock been here, it is the game I would have slaughtered him with in terms of the Generation X game. My game, of course, is this, ladies and gentlemen. It is, and maybe slight controversial choice of the particular version that I'm choosing, but I particularly liked this version. It's The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I bought the Platinum Edition of this, of the Platinum Edition of the GameCube, just for this game. And I've still got the controller. So it came in a beautiful platinum-coloured GameCube with these beautiful, so you get the light there, platinum-coloured GameCube controller. What a great controller this was. I really like this controller, actually. But yeah, so it was a special bundled edition. It's published by Nintendo GameCube, obviously, and it's the 10th installment of Legend of Zelda series. It's released in Japan in 2002, December 2002, and then, as often we found previously on this show, a few months later, March in America, and then May in 2003 in Europe. And it's set in a group of islands in a vast sea, which is a departure from the previous series, because you have to travel to all those islands rather than sort of ride about on a horse as you sort of do in the Zelda games, or kind of walk about. But what I really, really liked about this particular Zelda game was the creative decision to really change the Zelda character in terms of using cell shading, which after this became the real kind of, chosen style of gaming. You know, previously gamings has sort of used their sort of digital approach to character building, and they look digital. But Nintendo took this amazing decision to go, you know what, actually, we could shell shade it. Say that when you're in a hurry. We could cell shade it, use cell shading, as they sort of started doing in sort of CGI films and stuff, and give it a genuine cartoon sort of feel, but like a modern cartoon type of style. And it's really cute. I really love it. It's still got all the powers and all the puzzles and all those kind of elements that you come to kind of love with Zelda. And I was a massive fan of Ocarina of Time, which is the big one. But in here, because they're on lots of different islands, you have to you get a little sailing boat, and the sailing boat plays a prominent role, and it sort of can be controlled by a magic conductor's baton called the Wind Waker, which makes the wind sort of change direction. It was directed by Eiji Aonuma and produced, of course, by the legend that is Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka. The development began in 2000, and it retains the basic 3D gameplay that we saw in Ocarina of Time and the less considered Majora's Mask. But this is what I'm saying. The team chose to avoid the art style of the previous games and instead opted for what I think is this sort of absolutely beautiful cell shading to give it a cartoon-like art style. And initially, some critics, didn't really like it. I mean, the game obviously received critical acclaim. These games hardly put a foot wrong in terms of its visuals and gameplay and level design and music and story. But it was this art direction that proved the most divisive among players and contributed to actually weak sales of the game. They took a creative decision to go in a slightly different direction. And often as you do these things with, loved IP and stuff like that, your core audience can sometimes feel a bit kind of, oh, no, it's not what I'm kind of used to. But I really, really liked it. But many people say, that decision is why it sold only 4.6 million. Only 4.6 million compared to 7.6 million copies of Ocarina of Time. And as a result, Nintendo changed directions with the next Zelda installment to the more basic, realistic style Twilight Princess. However, the Wind Waker's reputation improved over time, and it is now considered, and I've always considered it as such, one of the greatest video games ever made. Didn't I just say that about Grand Theft Auto? I think I did. Anyway, that, ladies and gentlemen, is my game, my game of the Generation X game. Right, there we go. Well, no voting, obviously. No voting. It would have been a waste of time anyway. It's so cute. Oh, I'm still looking at the Wind Waker video there. I do apologise. Should be doing a show. It's so cute, and I just love my Platinum Edition GameCube that I had, and I just love this little controller that came with it and everything. I know everybody talks about Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I love that game. I mean, it's what got me into Zelda, and I quite enjoyed Majora's Mask, although I got stuck about 3/4 of the way through and I've never completed it. But Wind Waker was really, I just thought I loved the art style, I loved the decision that they made and all of that. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is my game of choice, my game that would have massacred, one punched out rock in a game of Generation X game. I'm sure of it. I'm confident. I wish I should have saved it now. But there you go. Let me know what you think. Did you ever play Wind Waker? What do you think about the art style compared to the original Zelda and Ocarina of Time and all that kind of stuff? Be interesting to know what you think. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A shorter show, really, today. A shorter show. There's only half of us. So you get half a show. That's the way it is. See, if you just took all my talking and then you added it to all... of course, Player One. Of course, Yoshida. Of course, Player One. I love that game. It was a great little game. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I want to thank you all for being here tonight, all for watching. If you're catching on catch up, as they say, thank you. Welcome. Hit those likes. All of those. Really appreciate you being here and all of that. Jerry, thank you for being here. Yoshida, thank you for being here. Dave Widnall, thank you for being here. And all of that. We're wrapping up now, Dave. Where were you? Hello, Dave. How are you, my friend? No Rock today, as I say. He'll be back next week, I'm sure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Have a good Generation X gaming week, and we'll see you around all very soon. Thank you, my friends. Goodbye.